Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be had already been. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua requireth that which is past. First off, and give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Chakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well, and as always, peace and salutations to the elect. All right, it's your brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch. It's going to be a quick lesson. All right, touching on this so-called holiday, which you brothers and sisters know, November 27th, the so-called Thanksgiving, to where you have America shut down for the most part. America is shut down. Everybody is off work. People are traveling, taking flights, taking road trips to meet up with other family members to celebrate this so-called holiday, in which is rooted in something deeper than just coming together and meeting, linking up with your cousin that you ain't seen for the whole year and, eating turkey. It has a deeper and darker meaning, all right, behind this whole celebration that we know as Thanksgiving, which a lot of our people don't even look into. The mass majority of these holidays that America promotes is linked, all right, to idolatry, all right, linked to the mass murder, all right, and genocide of you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, and this so-called holiday being the main one, all right. It's not what we've been taught in school, the pilgrims came over, Esau, the pilgrims came over, they met the Native Americans, and the so-called Native Americans helped them and they became friends, and everybody just had a good time. You get that whole thing with Squanto and Pocahontas and this whole story of, coming together and everybody being one, when really it's totally opposite of that. You see, the true deeper meaning to this is Esau Edom, with the so-called white man celebrating the downfall, all right, of the Northern Kingdom, the so-called Native Americans and various other tribes of the Northern Kingdom. All right, when they came over here and massacred and slaughtered our people, but I have this video pulled up. I had asked Google a couple of, something about, Thanksgiving, the darker, what's truly the meaning behind it. But Lord willing, this lesson edifying. Like I said, it won't be long at all. So let's play this video, get straight to it.
Pequot people were burned alive in the middle of their sleep at night in 1637. Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up. Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago. John Mason, the man who murdered over 700 people. When anyone, the few people who were able to survive that Holocaust, they were rounded up. They were sold as slaves. Before they were sold, they were marched all the way from Connecticut to Mass Bay Colony, present-day Boston. They were placed on trial. They were declared to be sold as slaves. But before they sent them on that slave ship, they had to humiliate them some more. And they read a declaration that those people shall not ever, once again, even utter the word Pequot. They will no longer be able to call themselves a Pequot. I am proud to say, I'm a Mashantucket Pequot. This is the history, folks. Because that particular day, that particular incident is when this country declared its second religious day of Thanksgiving.
All right, there you have it. But you had that brother, that Gadite brother, was going in, and like he said, Stephen King couldn't make Stephen King couldn't make it up, the atrocities that, he couldn't make a movie or a book up as worse as the atrocity that's been done unto our people, and that's why the scriptures say that, and I think, Lord, I think it's in the book of Daniel, Salaki, if it's not, just roughly paraphrasing about, under the whole heaven have not been done like it had been done unto Israel, man. You see? Because like this brother said, man, I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play it one more time, and then I'm gonna go into this This is just AI overview in Google. All right, so let's play it one more time.
Pequot people were burned alive in the middle of their sleep at night in 1637. Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up.
Right, and he's not lying. And a lot of this stuff, like I said, we've been taught in school was to paint Esau as the hero. It wasn't until actually around the time that I came into the truth or started to wake up, what I'm saying, to the truth, that I started to, look up, particular things, the atrocities of how this goddamn devil, treated our people, his dealings with the so-called Native Americans, his dealing with the so-called, Latin tribes, the so-called Negroes, you see. Like you said, it's something that's not taught in school, man. So you wouldn't know it. A lot of our people don't know it. Just like now in these times, Esau is taking stuff. He's taking more and more stuff out of the educational system, like us coming over here in cargo slave ships. That was taught when I was in school. But now this newer generation, they know nothing about it. You see, him trying to erase and cover up his atrocities. But as the scriptures say, it talks about shameful spewing shall be for his glory. All right. And the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, is going to require this of him. And this is what you are celebrating. To you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans who put your energy into this so-called holiday, this is what you're ultimately celebrating. You see, it's not we'll bring this information, and and our people will still say, well, I'm just doing it for the for just to get together with my family. No, because it ultimately goes back. You think the Lord is looking at it like that? You celebrating like that? You celebrating it like that? No, you see, because it's ultimately celebrating the slaughter and the massacre of our people, man. All right, let's keep going.
Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago.
Right, and you have statues all over America of these Edomite forefathers. Sam Houston down here in Texas, you have a statue of Sam Houston. You know what I'm saying? Who was a known the goddamn devil, man. Doing the atrocities that he did unto our people. You know what I mean? All these forefathers are mass murderers and rapists, man. You see, but yet there's statues of them and they're celebrated. All right, holidays are named after them. These are the things that you got to look into, man. You so-called Negro Latinos got to understand, man, because you can't just be out here doing shit. I had to talk with my with my son. He was saying some little thing. I guess kids say now, something 6, 7 or something. You know what I'm saying? Kept hearing him saying, I'm like, what the hell? What are you talking about? What does that mean? And he didn't know what it mean. And I told him, I say, you see, you don't say nothing if you don't know what it means. If you say something, you got to understand what it means. You see? Likewise, if you celebrating or doing something, don't just be doing something, going along with the crowd. All right. Just because everybody else is doing it, you going to do it too. Not understanding what it truly means. You see? Because this is exactly what this means, what this brother is going into that you see on the screen, man. How the atrocities that is the goddamn devil did unto our people. And it all goes back unto that hatred that he had for our people. Ezekiel 25 and verse 12, it says, thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai, I will stretch out my hand upon Edom, and I will cut off man and beast from it. And I will make it desolate from Teman, and they of Dedan shall fall by the sword. And I will lay my vengeance upon Edom by the hands of my people Israel. And they shall do in Edom according to mine anger and according to my fury. And they shall know my vengeance, saith Yahweh Shem Yahushai. You see? So we're going to be able to get our lick back on this devil, man. Just like we started out with Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. Yahweh Shem Yahushai requires that which is past, man. So all these atrocities that Esau have done to our people and still doing unto this day, all the murder, rape, robbery, and murder that he's done, he's gonna have to pay for that. You see in the Yahweh Shemi Awashai, because the Lord, that was the Lord's anger that was upon. Yeah, Salakia. So, like I was saying, that was the Lord's anger, all right, that was upon this devil. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord allowed him to get busy on us. You see how much more, and we are the people that Yahweh Shem Shai love, man. We are the apple of Yahweh Shem Shai's eyes, according to the scriptures. All right, so if the Lord allowed these atrocities and things like this to happen unto the people that He loved, you can only imagine what He's gonna do to the people that He hate. You see, and Esau and Yahweh Shem Shai hated Esau according to the scriptures, Malachi chapter 1. You see, Jacob have I loved and Esau have I hated. All right. But what this man is going into, and like this whole lesson is going into, is that this celebration that our people are celebrating today is ultimately going back to something that's rooted in the massacre and the genocide of our people. All right, so I'm gonna play this video one more time, and I'm gonna go into this Google AI overview.
At night in 1637, Mass Bay Colony, Plymouth Colony, Providence Plantation, Mystic Seaport, all English colonies banded together to burn women and children while they slept in a village at night. They barricaded the exit. They did not allow anyone to leave. They wanted them to burn. They were proud that they burned. This country was proud to write. We could smell their burning, rotting flesh for over a mile away. It's written, folks. Please read it on your own. I am not making this up. Stephen King can't make this up. He was so proud, the town of Norwich, Connecticut, had a statue honoring this man up until roughly a decade ago. John Mason, the man who murdered over 700 people. When anyone, the few people who were able to survive that Holocaust, they were rounded up. They were sold as slaves. Before they were sold, they were marched all the way from Connecticut to Mass Bay Colony, present-day Boston. They were placed on trial. They were declared to be sold as slaves. But before they sent them on that slave ship, they had to humiliate them some more.
Oh, you see? Showing you that what? Deuteronomy 28 and 68 happened unto the northern kingdom as well, man. You see? When you look it up, all right, around 1492-ish, you know what I'm saying? Which you're going to see from this AI overview that I got pulled up. But like he was saying, yeah, you see that curse falls upon the northern kingdom as well. They had to be sold unto slavery as well, man. You see, they were shipped back over to parts of northern Africa, Europe. You know what I'm saying? So that curse falls upon them as well, man. All right, and a lot of our people don't know that. You see, a lot of our people don't know that the northern kingdom. That also happened to the northern kingdom. A lot of them was shipped back over to like I said, to different parts of northern Africa, Europe. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Okay.
And they read a declaration that those people shall not ever, once again, even utter the word Pequot. They will no longer be able to call themselves a Pequot. I am proud to say I'm a Mashantucket Pequot. This is the history, folks. Because that particular day, that particular incident, is when this country declared its second religious day of Thanksgiving.
All right. So let me get this AI overview, which I had to take a screenshot of it. I took it, which I'm glad I did, because when I went back, when I opened my Google back up and opened that tab back up, everything that you see on the screen was totally different. It was worded different. Everything was changed. So, but this goes to show you, man, this nigga is being revealed, man. It's nothing Esau can hide. The Lord is going to, expose and make Esau bare. But this is the AI overview. I basically asked, the connection between the Pequots and Thanksgiving. So as you can see, it says the Pequot and Thanksgiving are linked because of the day of Thanksgiving was declared by English colonists in 1637 to celebrate their victory over the Pequot tribes in the Mystic Massacre. This event was a brutal culmination of the Pequot War. It says in which hundreds of Pequot men, women, and children were killed, and many survivors were sold into slavery. For many indigenous people, the connection means the connection means they observe a national day of mourning instead of Thanksgiving, right? You see, so that's the true. That's the true. You know what I'm saying? Story of Thanksgiving, man. All right, not this fairy tale Disney movie that we've been taught. All right, about Esau coming over here and them making friends and everybody sitting at the table. No, it was none of that, man. All right, it says the Pequot War and the Massacre. Pequot War, it says in the mid 1630s, tensions between English colonists and the Pequot tribe escalated, fueled by competition for land and resources. It says the Mystic Massacre in May 1637. English in a line. I don't even know how to say that one. In Negarset, however you say that shit. In it says Mohegans force is attacked in main Pequot fort near the Mystic River. They set fire to the fort and killed most of the roughly 400 to 700 people inside, including women, children, and elderly. Right? You see, because this nigga didn't give a damn, man. You see? So let's go to this. Let's go to Google real quick. Like I said, I have it pulled up. So it says, following the conflict with English colonists, many survivors of the Pequot and Wampanoag, I think I'm saying that right, Thanksgiving individuals were sold into slavery, primarily sent to the West Indies or Bermuda. Other survivors were taken as captives by the colonists within New England, with women and children sometimes forced into servitude as slaves and indentured servants. It says, after the Pequot War, hundreds of Pequot prisoners were sold into slavery to colonists in Bermuda. Yeah, you see, so that's where they were shipped to. Salakia. It says in the West Indies, other survivors were dispersed as captives to the various colonists in New England. All right. The Wampanoag, I think I'm saying that right. It says in King Philip's War, male Wampanoag captives were often sold into slavery and transported to places like the West Indies, Bermuda, and Virginia. Colonists used Penang, however you say that, Salakia, bro. Salakia says women and children all as slaves, children as enslaved people or indentured servants within New England. It says some remaining were forced to resettle in specific praying towns like Natick and Westminster, however you say that. But anyway, you get the drift, man. All right. So this is really the story of Thanksgiving, man. All right. So-called Thanksgiving. It's really not a day of a celebration. All right. It's really a day of mourning for our people. You see, because we still in captivity to this day. You see, still under the oppression of Esau, Edom. All right. And every day, every year it comes around, he has us celebrating. Just a slap in the face. But here it is. He'll tell us to forget. You know what I'm saying? But every year he brings it up every year, the massacre and genocide of our people. And then he gives everybody a day off to celebrate it. You see, so you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans better realize what you celebrate, man. Everything that this devil gives you is linked to something. Is linked to the downfall of your people. You know what I'm saying? And it's ultimately making, if you celebrating, if you putting your energy into that shit, that's ultimately making you an enemy of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, and these goddamn devils are going to pay. You see, he ain't getting away with nothing, man. All right. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. And as always, peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.